Hey folks, so today I'll walk you through how I created two 529 accounts for my two kids for their educational fund. So there's a lot of different platforms out there, but for me, I like Fidelity the best just because I like their app and I like their online presence. I've used Vanguard, I've used Schwab, I've used T. Rowe Price, I've used Merrill Lynch, but at the end of the day, Fidelity is my kind of go-to platform, and plus a lot of their funds are no fee, and so that's kind of why I'm there. I'm not sponsored. It's just I like their stuff. Okay. So once we're on the fidelity.com website, you want to go down to 529 college savings. From here, you want to click on open a 529 account. And then it's an individual 529 account. So once you click here, if you have an account already, you'll want to make sure you're logged into your not 529. You'll make sure you want to log into your Fidelity account so the two can just kind of link up. If you don't have an account already, you'll have to create a new Fidelity account and then the 529, and they can all link up together later on. Really, this part here is just entering your son or daughter's information, birthday, social security number, address, who's the owner of these accounts, and you'll have to set up your checking information so they can link up so you can automatically deposit whatever it is, like $50, $100 a month, or whatever you want to do. And so that first part is basically setting up the account, making sure that there's a connection between your Fidelity account and your checking account, and then I'll show you how it looks like once you're in. So this is my own personal account for my two kids. Sam, he's 2. He just turned 2. Olivia's about 4 months. And so I created Sam a year after he was born, but we put some money in there, and it's not a lot. It's roughly $100 a month that we put in. So again, to recap, the most important thing is setting up your account, setting up your checking account so you can fund your account each month. I think that's the most important thing. The second most important thing is your investment strategy. And for Sam, we'll kind of go into his account, and I set up both Sam and Olivia the same way, but we're picking the New Hampshire Aggressive Growth Index Fund. And so if we look at all of the options out there, the 529 performance options, if you're new to investing, if you look at this list, it's a lot of stuff, and you might not know what you're doing, and not knowing and kind of knowing what you're doing is gonna create a big difference at the end of the day. And so, for example, what I have for Sam is, let me get there, Aggressive Growth Fidelity Index Fund, and so it's been around since 2006. Last year they had an awesome year at 27%. The last 3 years at 12, and the last 5 and 10 years are at 10%. And so I like them because of the low fees that they have. If you compare that with the actively managed fund, it's beating the actively managed fund. And so if you pick the right funds, you'll be at 10%. If you pick the wrong one, you might be at 2%. And so that's why I say the second most important thing is picking the right funds when you're in here. And for me, this is what I pick, and we can kind of dig into that a little more here, maybe. I'll quickly show you. So if you pick this one fund, it's a basket of funds of all the top companies in the U.S. and also all the top companies outside of the U.S. And so if we look at it very closely here, 70% of this fund is domestic, and so that's Google, Facebook, or I'm sorry, not Facebook, Google, Chase, Berkshire Hathaway, Visa, all those big U.S. companies. International equities, about 30% of it, and that's like Samsung and Toyota. Alibaba is one of them, and so those are companies you're investing in international, and in domestic you're investing in the top companies that we kind of said. Um, if you click on this fund, it will actually tell you all the 3,000 companies you're invested in, but we won't go there today. So if we go back to Sam's account, this is what I have his account set up in year to date. He's got $4,000. So again, to recap, the most important thing is setting up an account. Second thing is making sure that connection is set up between the bank and your Fidelity account, just so you can feed it all the time. Currently, I'm feeding about $100 a month per child at this time. And the third most important is the investment strategy. For me, there's a lot of research on index investing versus active investing, and based on my experience, I think I'm going to pick index investing. There's a couple things I haven't done here yet. Name your successor participants. Each account is per child, but you can change it at any time. But I haven't done that piece yet. And then this last piece may not be important. May not be that important. So this is how I have my account set up. Hopefully that was useful to you guys. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below.